Good morning, one and all. This is Ray from Next Forex Trade. Today is Thursday, the 12th of September 2019. It's just gone 6:20 a.m. here in the UK, and I am going to go over today's market. There's probably going to be quite a lot of repetition from previous days, so do have a look at the other videos. I'll try and get through this as quickly as possible. And yeah, I'm here to teach, not preach, so let's crack on. Just a quick overview of the strategy. This is a trend-based strategy based on time frame correlation and price action. So firstly, we've got the daily, which is the first chart that we always look to find value for money, to see if the price is overbought or oversold. And we deem that in a downtrend when we firstly identify by seeing lower lows and lower highs in the price action. And the price being overbought is when it's nearing or it's nearing a lower high in terms of price action, or one of the ways I do it is by using a standard deviation around the price, and if it's in this upper edge here, this upper half, then it's deemed as overbought. In an uptrend, it's the reverse. We're looking for higher highs and higher lows, and we're looking for the price to be oversold to time our entry, and this is all based on the daily. So if the daily is showing signs that we could potentially enter based on where the price is, then we look to the lower time frames. Got the 4 hourly, 15 and 5 here, and we want these to be saying a very similar thing to what the daily is saying. So we want those to be also, if it's a downtrend we're seeing on the daily, we want these to also be in a downtrend. So no further ado, let's crack on and see what the price action is actually doing today. So we've got the AUD CAD. AUD CAD at the moment is definitely bearish. We're seeing these lower lows, lower highs. We're seeing the price being overbought area at the moment. It did encounter some resistance previously here, which it has busted through. It's gone through, but it's still quite zonal. Since yesterday, it has gone past the high of yesterday, but it still hasn't really past this this area here. If we move this up, it's not a specific level really, it's just zonal. But the reason to still be bearish on this, if we use the standard deviation for context, it's coming into contact with the upper edge of our standard deviation around now. So really it's just a case of waiting for signs of reversal. So waiting for these lower time frames to roll over, and by roll over I mean start showing to show lower lows and lower highs. This could be a decent trade. Probably not for this week. Most likely going to be, if it doesn't happen by Friday, probably into next week, this could show some decent opportunity. So want to keep an eye on AUD, CHF. This isn't tradable at the moment. It's definitely bearish again. First things that pops out, low lows or highs, but there's been no definitive signs of reversal yet on the daily. So this is one to leave for now. This is the AUDJPY. Again, all these have a very similar story. Downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. It's just recently breached this this area here, which was important, quite significant. See how far back this goes. Yeah, it's zonal. It's a zonal area that it's just coming into contact here, but it hasn't really, punched through it. It's still looking like a retrace at the moment in terms of this price action. So really, it's a case of waiting for some more definitive signs of potential reversal. Just want to see something quickly as well based on the Fibonacci retrace, just to see if there's any clues to where that level might be. I never use Fibonacci in isolation, so I wouldn't just draw it and consider, oh, there's a retrace level. It has to have meaning in terms of where the price interacts. So for me, there is a 50 retrace level. This has already gone past 38.2. The next level that makes sense, you can see how it interacts with this previous price action, these previous lows here, these lows here. That makes sense in terms of where the price could stall next if it does continue to move higher. So really, in the coming days, or into next week in fact, I'd want to see some signs of reversal today or tomorrow, so the price moved past the low here. But if it does continue to move upwards, it'll be this kind of level that I'd anticipate the price would find some resistance next, and then still be bearish on this overall. But yeah, it's really just wait and see to see what the price action dictates. So let's go on to the next one. AUD/USD. Yeah, won't labor the point. There isn't. It's definitely bearish, this move. If we're looking at this move down here, but and as the others, trouble around here, getting past this what was previous support. Today's candle, hasn't really definitively moved higher, but it hasn't, fallen away either. So I'd want to see some signs of reversal first of all. So looking to the lower time frames for that. CAD CHF, no, that's too choppy, that price action. No signs. I mean, overall bearish. I could put the standard deviation around it, but don't really need to. But just for point of reference, this is looking bearish, but I want to see signs of reversal off of this type of level in the daily. So reversal candles, it finds some resistance at this level, probably into next week now before that becomes viable. CHFJPY. This was a trade that I was in. You'll see here I did take a loss on this. This is another position that overall I was quite happy with the setup. I would take that setup again and again if it occurred, even though it was a loss in this instance. I was happy to go to the upper edge of my threshold of 3%, but as happens, the market didn't go in my favor. Sometimes that is the case, but the reward to risk on this and the positioning on it was fine. I had my stop loss above this previous what I was deeming as a lower high, which made sense. It was at the time outside of the standard deviation. It's around about this level, so it's just recently got stopped out. When I'd entered, the lower time frames were showing signs of bearishness, so lower lows and lower highs, and I'm still bearish on this overall, but it's just the timing on it isn't great now, so it's just waiting for those signs of bearishness to resume in the lower time frames before attempting to try and short this again, which may not be this week. It could be next week before that's viable. But again, you can't really hold a grudge on the market. It's going to do what it does, and as I've reiterated in other videos, the only thing you can do is manage your risk and how you enter and how you exit the trade, your timing on those. So this made sense. The reward to risk on this, I was going for more than 1-to-1 on this. This would have been I was attempting to reach these lows here. I would have scaled in as well had there been the additional opportunity, but c'est la vie, the price did take me out here, and you just got to be honest with yourself, because the market it does what it does. It will give you losses sometimes. So Euro AUD, this definitely bullish on, but the daily, again, there's no signs of reversal yet, so that this could potentially go long. All of our lower time frames are all bearish at the moment, so wait and see with that as well. EURCHF, no, that price action isn't really readable in terms of a trend. This is the EURUSD. This is pretty nice price action. We've got let's take this off. Price coming down here, lower lows, lower highs. It's in an overbought area in terms of our standard deviation, so that tells us that the price could move lower. It also gives us a reference point for our stop loss above this area of resistance, so above these highs here. And what also is needed is the lower time frames really to start showing bearishness. Now we started to see that in like the lower the hourly, the 15-minute. These have started to viably start to show lower highs. There's been a double top, which is a reversal pattern that the price could fall away, and it did when it interacted that last time, but it hasn't broken this previous support here. So that's a bit of this support here looks quite significant. The way it's gone back here is quite, these levels here zonal. So this, although it's fallen away from that resistance, it hasn't produced really consecutive lower highs and lower lows as of yet. So I would be bearish on this, would be looking to short this, but I'd want to see it break so these previous lows here, which in fact would also be the previous day's low as well. So if I put this into context, let's just see. So see how this makes sense across multiple time frames. So you can see here on these time frames here, I don't know if you can see that red line on your screen, but let's put in a purple one. Just use this one. The reason why I'm deeming this area here as significant, if the price does move lower, is that it would have context on multiple time frames. It would be a move past the day's previous low. So it would move past yesterday's low, which is a good sign of continued bearishness. It would be a break of structure in terms of what the 4-hourly saying. So this standard deviation here, it would be a breakout of that, and it would be moving past these previous higher lows as well. And it would be a break of this support here on our lower time frames, and it would give us the ability to start giving context to a standard deviation that would be based on this high here. So the price would kind of, as it moves down, it would go from here and then move past the lows, and we'd have a channel that moves downwards. So that gives us context for an entry should the price pull back to our standard deviation, to the average or the upper edge, to potentially shorts. But it really is just waiting for that to happen. And this area here is the kind of pivotal area to keep an eye on, to see how that breaks. Next, Euro GBP. No, this isn't great price action in my opinion. Definitely bullish on it overall, but there's clear signs of bearishness on all the other time frames. So our daily is bullish, but these are all bearish, and we want them all to be agreeing. So no for now. No, similar to the other ones, this is bearish, but no clear signs of reversal as of yet. No, price action is not great. Yes, this is okay. Euro USD, bearish on this. Seen some signs of it being overbought and starting to fall away as well. The only thing with this, there's two things that would, two things that make me hesitant about this is where the price is now. We'd be deeming this as a lower high in this price action, right? And it would be quite a wide stop loss that we'd need to take if we're taking a conservative trade with a stop above that level. It's about 83. Yeah, it takes your take profit. If you're going for 1-to-1 reward to risk with a stop loss at that level, it means you'd be taking profit probably around about this low here, which is fine as long as it's before that previous low. Then there's still a good probability of it getting hit within that move. But it's quite a wide stop, and it's also still within the standard deviation as it is. The other time frames kind of support it. They look okay. It's good on the 4-hourly. This move here it has broken out of that and started to move a bit lower, and it's finding resistance now off of that previous area of that was a standard deviation in this move. So that's useful information. And also we can see, if we're using these lower time frames, the price has broken structure in that this area of support was quite significant. It's broken through, and now it's finding more or less resistance off of that. So the previous support has become resistance. So that's good. That those all help justify a decision to short this. It's just the consideration, is there enough value in this to potentially short? Because the most you can see in the immediate future of this is a 1-to-1 taking out a profit before these levels. And like I mentioned, there's that the fact that this lower high here is just still kind of, you could be right on this overall, and that it's still bearish, but wrong because of where the stop is. So this comes down to a kind of a risk decision. I would consider either leaving this completely or doing it at a reduced risk because of what's kind of the issue at the moment on the stop loss placement. So the way I think about this, if you have a risk of between 1% and 3%, like I do, then this would definitely be in the 1% to half percent to 1% in terms of risk for me, because it's something effectively, if the price were to break these lows, I could scale into if they hold on to the position. But it's just the stars aren't all aligned at the moment. There is some good information, but it's definitely a decent enough short, but it's just not perfect as it could be. So yeah, short's viable, but reduced risk in my opinion for this. So okay, let's move on. GBPUSD at the moment, definitely bearish on this, but the positioning on this wouldn't be great in terms of where the stop would need to be, so pass on that. GBP and again, just apologize for any pauses, because you're just hearing my thought process really as I'm looking at each of these opportunities. So if we look at the GBP, we can see that we've got some clear signs of downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. This has definitely been a significant area of resistance where it's encountered previous support as well. So it gives us a reference point for a stop potentially above these previous lower highs here, so above this level. Now, the problem at the moment is this movement that we've had here, which is echoed by, if we look at these lower time frames, you can see the highs are getting higher and the lows are getting higher as well, at least on the hourly. These ones, they're flattening out. So to make this viable, I'd want to see more definitive signs of lower lows and lower highs on these lower time frames. So at the moment, it's not quite there. You could, tentatively short this based with a stop above these levels. That would still make sense. The risk to reward would still be in there to make it, beyond a 1-to-1 reward to a risk. It's just you could be holding it for quite a while, and also the lower time frames aren't telling the same story as of yet that we need to see. They're still either flat, so sideways markets finding a lot of support, or just choppy, which isn't great. We want to see it definitively move lower. So I wouldn't trade this currently, but there is context. If you were to enter this tentatively with stops above this level, going for take profits around these lows here. So this is GBP Swissy. Bearish on this because of what we're seeing on the daily, but you can see all these other time frames, or hourly, 4 hourly, they're all quite bullish. So pass. Same story here. GBPJPY, GBPNZD. No, pass. Oh, okay. This is the cable, pound against the dollar. This, yeah, I mean, a lot of the GBP crosses are like this, as you've already seen. This, of the ones that we've seen so far, gives the best setup that I've seen. Just going to see how significant that resistance is. So I want to see how far back this goes. So we can see that there were areas here, way back when there was previous support in the price, some zonal support as well. So this has good context as a potential reversal area, and if we put the Fibonacci on, no, there's no significance in that level. But shorting this, firstly, we've got a good reference point for our stop above these highs. We've got bearishness overall, so it's really looking to the lower time frames to see what opportunity there might be. Don't like how these are all very flat at the moment. So for me, it would be this low here getting taken out that would be the most significant to consider shorting. So yeah. Again, you could aggressively enter this now, but on a short with a stop above these levels. That wouldn't be my preference. I'd want to see it start to show some bearishness. Definitely it breaking this kind of area here. So this area here on a daily would be a bit more, give a bit more weight to decision to short it. So waiting for it to break that and then pull back, we'd have the price would kind of cycle down like this. We put standard deviation around that, and looking for it to pull back to the upper edge or even the average of our standard deviation with reversal signs. That could be a good instance to short this. But yeah, it's just waiting. And my intuition is probably into next week is when these opportunities will probably arrive. But definitely keep an eye out for them. Same story here, NZD CAD, well, not same story as the last one, but basically is bearish overall, but just need better signs of reversal. So pass for now. No. Overbought, downtrend, or bearishness, but need better signs of reversal. USD CAD, no. No, these are all bullish, but we're looking for a bearish move based on these daily. So no, pass on that. Pass on that as well. And Bitcoin. So yeah, still long. If you're into Bitcoin, price action here still pretty readable. Looking for longs, stops below this level here. Makes sense. Take profits here, those levels and beyond. But yeah, that's it for today. So I'll be again back tomorrow around the same time. So any questions, feel free to let me know, and do remember to subscribe to the videos so you can get notifications when these go live. Thanks for listening, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.